Here we go, guys. Week 6, day 2, and this is part 2 of that afternoon session. Final days. So this is the last video, and here we are with Lamnammoon, just doing some pad stuff. I didn't actually get to do much pad stuff with Kruyo over the time of the training because he'd hurt his elbow or something or other. So it was good to get this in. And he's basically just correcting, the height of my knees. And the trajectory of them and stuff like that. And man, if I got some pads with him more often during the trip, I reckon I would have really benefited from it. As the way he puts you into the posture of what he wants and the trajectory and stuff, like he kind of grabs your knee sometimes and sets you in the position, and I don't know, you just get the feel of it. So this is some really nice looking pads here. Not to mention the way he moves, the way he trains, the way he, fights and everything. I can just really relate to his style. And I don't know, when I hit pads with him, I just feel like I sink in really well. Just feel as though we're fairly compatible when it comes to that type of stuff, which is good. But yeah, just on some basics here. Nice long teeps, nice long jabs, and he's just getting me to basically knee and stuff as long as possible, and as always, rise up onto that toe and push the back and glute into it a bit more. I've really chopped this video down though, guys, even though this is part 2 of just a single session. I had so much footage. I really made a point of getting as much as I could, but I've chopped down a whole lot of it. A lot of it was clinching. So yeah, clinching after this, but so just giving you a warning now, it might get a little bit boring. It's about 15 minutes or so, but that's actually, chopped down a fair bit. But so here we are. I'm looking a lot more balance hitting here. You can see I'm coming back to a better posture. I'm swinging things on a better trajectory. Everything's more fluent. I look more natural. Those knees are coming out. But not to mention the gym I used to train at also was sister gym with Lamnammoon, so a lot of their style and what they taught was sort of already what I've learnt. So probably another reason why everything feels so good when pad holding with Lamnammoon. So here we are with the clinching, and yeah, like I said, guys, it was a really long clinch session. I chopped a lot of it out, but I've just kicked it off here with Hudson. We're just doing some basic movements. And Hudson's being new to Thailand. I think he'd spent about a week with us while we were there, and then we left, and then he'd spent an extra 3 weeks there. But he's your first week is at that point where you're kind of learning to mellow out. You're learning to relax. Your brain's accepting the fact that you don't have to pay rent or bills or anything. You got nowhere to be but Muay Thai. And you're just in the process of mellowing and getting used to everything and getting your routine. So he's at that point now where he's kind of just battling that stiffness, and I wasn't there to record, but I bet you next week he would have been a lot more chiller, because that's just what Thailand does to you. It takes out your stresses. And it's funny, actually, I was talking to someone about this. Thailand is always got you on the perfect balance needle of being in the present in a way. It's so strange. Like, it's a cross between suffering and bliss at the same time. Like, you'll be sitting there eating the best fried rice that's the cheapest amount of money and you've ever tasted, and it's just so damn good. But whilst you're sitting there eating it, you're just getting swarmed by like 50 flies, and you're just slowly like kind of getting annoyed and stuff. But this is something that happens non-stop, and there's like these little fruit flies that buzz around your eyeballs. And it's always a cross between heaven and eating the best damn rice you've ever had for cheap versus swatting flies and stuff, which is like possibly the most annoying thing in the world. And I swear that happens on a constant. That happens always on a constant in Thailand. And it's just like, even you'll be riding the scooter and you're like, man, I don't have to wear a helmet. I'm riding, I'm free. This is the best. I got my earphones in. This is so awesome. And you just feel totally free, totally awesome. And then your friggin' scooter conks out, and then you run starting it at the lights, and it's as hot as hell. And you're like, well, I don't know. For me personally, I found Thailand always finds a way to be so bliss at one point, and then another just be like, but this is why we suck also. And then you just learn to live in peace with that. It's so strange how it works. Like, you just learn to be at peace and in the present all the time, and you don't overthink. And it comes into your Muay Thai. It really does. After a week or so, it comes into your Muay Thai, you start chilling, you start relaxing, your ego drops, you start letting things happen, let people win, you get some wins, and everything it's just great. Like, I can't even explain it. You know, when we were coming over here, I was telling Dan all about it. But I was telling him all the parts about how it sucked. And then he's like, why the hell are we even going? And I'm like, you'll see what I mean, man. It's the best thing ever. And then I asked him at the end when we were coming home on the plane, I was like, so how was Thailand? And he was basically like, everything sucked. He's like, everything sucked. It was worth hating, but it was like one of the best things that you can do, basically. He's like, I don't know how to explain it. So it's like, that's exactly Thailand. So your first week, yeah, you're always sort of, you know, fighting that relaxation and that stiffness. But seriously, guys, like, all in all, one of the best things you can do is go overseas to train. Like, going overseas, traveling, partying, or whatever most people do, that's cool, whatever. But you're going over to Thailand and just to train, it's the best experience, guys. It's like some of the stories you get out of it, you know, it's like, I've got plenty of mates in like the army, and they've just got like these endless stories. And you go to Thailand and you go to train, and it's the same type of thing. Like, we'd sit there and have dinner and just be telling stories and stuff, and it's just friggin' awesome. Like, it seriously is, guys. Like, if you don't know where you're going in life or something or other, or you feel depressed or something, grab some money, save up, whatever, go to Thailand and just train. You won't regret it, trust me. In fact, after you've been to Thailand and you come back home, you get like a post-Thailand depression. You seriously do. You can be in Thailand for a month and you'll go home and your brain and your heart doesn't know where home really is anymore. It grows on you so fast, it's insane. Like, previously for me, getting back from Thailand, like, everybody treats everybody differently, and like in Thailand, everybody loves each other. They want what's best for you. You can walk down the street and they don't know you from a bar of soap. They don't know who you are, and their energy's like they want what's best for you. But you come back to Australia and people are like, you got 5 people in a room and they're talking like they're friends, but then they're kind of taking little shots at each other and they don't like each other on the lowdown, and it's just, you just don't get any of that crap in Thailand. Now, I don't know if that's like because I don't speak the language or whatever, but, you know, it's been there. I've been there twice now and I've never experienced it. It's just the best. It's just so good, guys. Like, you got to go there. You got to go do it. You got to do a training stint. And obviously, for myself, got a kid on the way and stuff, but I'd love to take a bunch of blokes over there. I tried to go over to Thailand this time round with a couple of my fighters, and you know, it's hard to get out of Australia, guys. When you're younger and you've got apprenticeships and that, it's hard to get out, and you know, everyone's got things to do. But man, it's so worth it. It's honestly so worth it. But back to Muay Thai, guys. Just Lamnammoon showing us a couple of little turns and techniques here. What I found really interesting about one of Lamnammoon's techniques is in the clinch, typically I've learnt to sort of lock, knee to get another lock, or if they got a better lock, you might knee and get inside lock or something. And one thing Crew Yo does is he'll actually wait for you to start to snake in for a better lock, and then he'll turn you while you're occupied trying to get a new lock. Not even trying to knee, just trying to get a new lock. And it's difficult to explain without actually showing it. I'll have to do a couple of classes on it, but it just amazed me because the window to do that is so small. But what really excited me about that is it's literally one of the most preliminary things that you can do. Like, it's the most basic, smallest movement that you would do in a clinch, and he capitalizes on that. And that, if you know me, that's right up my alley. But coming up, I decided to add into this video just a couple of little Thai boys clinching. And if you're from my gym or, you know, whatever, and you're watching, just have a look at how small the movements are that they actually make when clinching. It's incredible. Like, in Australia, you teach people to clinch and they immediately start muscling it. They start putting all their energy into it. And just watch here. They're just chilling. Look how small their movements are. Look how solid they stand. Look at that. That was just a basic movement. Look at that. They just spun around a little bit. They're just moving tiny little steps off of each other. Little knees. They're establishing locks. They haven't moved. You see people clinch in Australia and they stumble all over the place and make it look ugly. These two Thai boys here are just doing minimal movement. They're worrying about their locks. They're worrying about the knees. Little turns when necessary. Maybe a sweep. There's a little sweep coming up right here. And it's effortless and it's just tiny. Not a complete sweep, but just a movement. Ready? There. Small, effortless. But that concludes the series, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's Thailand vlog done and dusted.